Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Live, gbhbl.com for short. It's flashback time as we'll go way back to the start of a franchise, one of the most successful franchises in the entire fucking world. It is, of course, Grand Theft Auto, the original game, action-adventure video game developed by DMA Design and published by BMG Interactive, way before Rockstar was even a thing. The first title in the long-running series, released in October 1997 for MS-DOS and Microsoft Windows. In December 1997 for the PlayStation and October 1999 for the Game Boy Color. That was a bit of an odd one, wasn't it? The game's narrative follows a criminal who climbs in status within the criminal underworld across the fictional cities inspired by real-life locations, very Grand Theft Auto. The gameplay is presented from a top-down perspective and takes place within an open-world environment in which the player is not required to perform missions, although they are necessary to progress the story. So, for those of you who are too young to know this, Grand Theft Auto was not the 3D spectacular you are used to. It certainly was not the case. It actually began development as a game titled Race and Chase, in which the player controlled a police officer pursuing criminals. However, the game was considered dull, which does sound dull actually, and the concept of playing as a criminal was adopted instead. The development team worked to ensure that the player would have the freedom to play however they intended, and it created a great deal of controversy even before its launch due to its violent content, with discussions taking place in the House of Lords, of all places, and about banning its sale. The game's marketing campaign, organised by publicist Max Clifford, exploited this controversy as well. Because of course you would. You're going to totally build up to that. Yeah, and the thing is, the game wasn't that successful. It was met with mixed reviews, but was eventually a commercial success. The graphics controls were criticised, the entertainment value, sound design, and freedom of the gameplay were praised. It was very, very ahead of its time for that stuff. But I remember playing this game. I remember being like equally wowed and equally disappointed. Yeah. So, as always, things we like, things we don't like, favourite moments, scenes, bits of music. So, something I like, and it's simply that. 1997, maybe about 1998, I reckon, when we might have played this. I know I certainly played it early, because I know I went around a friend's house, and they had it, because it was always like, oh, your kids, your teenagers, come and check out Grand Theft Auto. Oh my God, you can do whatever you want. And that's something I loved. There weren't really this level of violent, do what you want games. You know, there were violent games or horror games or stuff like that, but you never had a game where they were like, go do what you want. Yeah. You want to shoot the fuck out of pedestrians and get into a fight with police and drive and find tanks and just, you could do whatever you wanted. To a kid, that was fucking spectacular. Games like Minecraft these days do the same thing, but on a, different scale, different scale. Do what you want. The world is yours. That was Grand Theft Auto. That's something I absolutely love. Yeah, definitely. I agree here. I mean, there's so many different likes I could say about this game, but I mean, I've gone for a few basic ones. I mean, the amount of different types of weapons you could use. I mean, the variety was brilliant. From machine guns to handguns to flamethrowers, rocket launchers. Just out there, Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And here's the thing, right? Although now we can look at the visuals and be a bit more critical, at the time, I didn't really mind it so much. I liked the top-down view. I liked the fact that, like, when you went over buildings, you'd see the top of the building and stuff like that. The city felt massive. Now, it wasn't, and we would really see massive cities later on when technology did development. But I didn't really have an issue with the graphics, particularly the top-down view. It made it feel, it made it feel more real to me, Yeah, definitely. I've got a few of those in my dislikes. Oh, we'll get to them, definitely, yeah. But I mean, at the time, it was spectacular. It was brilliant for us as kids, I've got down the missions, I mean, the amount of missions it's got overall in the game, Super variety. So many missions. And obviously, you have to earn a certain amount of money to make your little arrow go red to get to the next part of the level.
And it wasn't hard because obviously the amount of times you died, you got caught up by police, you lose money. But some of the missions, especially the time missions, were so fun, because you had to be quick and trying to avoid traffic, and it's just a massive variety.
Yeah, I agree. I second that. Variety in missions. There was quite a ton of them. Although they ultimately, got a lot of Grand Theft Auto things, they amount to the same thing. Gun and shoot, gun and shoot, gun and shoot. Often the approach was sometimes different. The build-up or parts of it were. So it always made it really, really interesting. It's weird that this film would have a film. This game would have 2 sequels, Grand Theft Auto London and Grand Theft Auto 2. Yet they're not remembered as fondly as the original. And then obviously the gigantic jump to Grand Theft Auto 3, which is an incredible leap in style. What else do I really like? I mean, it's obvious, but just that whole action sequences of where you've got the fucking masses of the police on you. They're driving like lunatics. Their aim is now to kill you, even if it means killing pedestrians in the process. Like, that shit is always never not going to be funny, So sort of when when you often play Grand Theft Auto and you're like, oh, I'm done doing missions. I'm going to stop in like 15 minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend these 15 minutes getting the highest wanted rating possible and see how long I can survive. Yep. That shit was always so much fucking fun, Definitely. Absolutely. And if you when you start finding like certain vehicles, just get in the tank. Just get in the tank and feeling fucking invincible, man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of my other ones is going to be like the different varieties of vehicles too in the game. There's so many different.
There are actually,
types from buses to lorries to
driving a bus, man.
Bikes to everything. But I mean, one of my fondest memories, and not you might miss, but is getting a bus and recreating the speed moment where you're going across the broken bridge. Yeah. And literally, it's just funny. It was just to do it,
You should have saved that for your favourite moments at the end.
I've got another favourite moment.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, well, what about some things we don't like then? This is a little bit more straightforward. Controls. So one of the things I always hated about it was the directional control for this. And this was before analog sticks, so it was directional control. And what it meant was diagonally was a real hardship for this game. And shooting diagonally was really, really difficult because people did move diagonally. So you'd often be pursued by a cop and they're at a diagonal position and you're trying to get yourself in a position where you can maybe shoot them head on or to the side. That was always a problem. And it also made it quite difficult with driving in regards to the fact that when you drove and got the top speeds, it'd zoom out a little bit, but seeing corners coming was really, really difficult.
Yeah. I mean, I've got that down. I've got that as views.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you got a mission where you got to can't damage your vehicle, and you're driving, especially the fast vehicles, you're driving at super speed. You can't see what's coming. And the amount of times and you've got a crash or bloody police car that just drive into you. Yeah, that was very annoying. And you bloody go to a repair shop to get a car repaired and stuff like that.
Another one seems obvious, but I think the game is quite difficult. I think it gets really difficult. I have never completed Grand Theft Auto. Have you? Nope. Never. I might one day go back and try it, but to be honest, I think stepping back into that world would probably be more frustrating than anything else, and I don't know if I'd enjoy it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got down here not enough lives. So now I think in total you get like 2 or 3 lives, and obviously you getting arrested unless you get a get out of jail free key. Getting arrested, you do the life. Once you lose 2 or 3 lives, that's it. It's game over.
Yeah, I think if I was to play it now, I'd play it on an emulator where you can obviously save state at any point. Yeah. So you could probably complete it that way because if I'm saving regularly, then I'm kind of guaranteed. Yep. And the obvious one as well. While this is the start of the franchise, I don't love games or films that go out of their way to be like, look at us, we're controversial, we're going to upset people, look at us, It's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play up to the controversy because you're creating unnecessary issues, you are. Definitely. And ultimately, this game was going to be rated 18, it was going to be for adults and all that. That's all you needed. It's all you needed. So I don't love the idea that he hired a publicist, particularly a man like Max Clifford, who I'm not going to say anymore, go Google him, find your own shit. A man like that to go out there and be like, oh yeah, it's not staying. Fuck off, man, with that shit. I never like that. Never do.
My last one on the dislike is it's going back to the amount of missions.
Yeah.
Now it gives you so many missions, but the problem is, so as you start, you get your 4 main missions, which are for the phone calls.
Yep.
Now, then obviously there's side missions, but once you do all the missions, if you haven't got the amount of money to do, which happens quite a lot, because if you fail a mission, that mission don't come back.
Yep.
The mission's gone. So then you've got to go around and try and find the missions, which there's loads.
Yeah.
But unless you've got the knowledge of where it is. I know where they are. So
Yeah, navigation's hard.
yes. I mean, obviously, you can do what I tend to do, which is quite fun, is like stealing cars and selling them at the crane park. The parts
Yeah, oh yeah, of course,
so that's what I used to do to get the extra cash.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, overall, I don't think there's. I mean, for a PS1 game at its time, there wasn't enough for me. That's what I think. Yeah.
That's really good. You really highlighted stuff and proper got my memory. I'd forgotten about the crane selling cars, how important that part was. Yeah, I used to spend a lot of time doing that. All right then, favourite moments, scenes, bits of music. So first, I just want to talk about overall the sound, the music in general. There's some hilarious stuff. There's great radio stations. It's great stuff. I do think nothing will ever top Vice City for its... Well, Vice City is the best Grand Theft Auto game ever. Yeah. But for its radio stations and Laszlo and his talk show, that is my favourite stuff. But Grand Theft Auto, its tunes and all that, the flipping between stations, great fun. The chatter, you'd hear the police scanners, talking to them. That shit was really, really cool.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean... greatest moments for me was, I mean, as you start the game, you got obviously drop straight into. You're dropped next to a car called a bulldog. Okay, so you get in the car and straight away you hear the noise of the gangs. The blah 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
And the first thing I always do is get in my car and run over everyone, because if you kill them all, you get an extra life. You get no pleasing you, and it gives you an extra life if you kill them all in one hit. And it's just like a great moment. But if not that, then it was the whole speed moment, like I said.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'll just add that in addition to the tank, a rocket launcher, standing in the middle of a fucking crossroads and just blowing up everything that comes your way until eventually someone flies into you and splatters you. You know. But it is Grand Theft Auto.
And for music, okay, I know I talk about radio stations, but get inside like the old bloody bandwagons, and it comes over there. Men don't find their women scary because they are so big and hairy. That's one of the lines.
I remember that part.
It's just so funny.
It is. Like I said, it's sort of thing that would be 10 times bettered further along, but it is the start of the franchise. Got any thoughts? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favour, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?